Hi, I'm John Parke. I'm the Stewardship Project Director at NJ Audubon. NJ Audubon, if you don't know, is an independent Audubon. We've been around since 1897, and our mission is to basically instill environmental awareness in the community, but we also have a research and conservation department, along with an education department, that also goes out into the field and works with the community, works with farmers, works with corporate leaders, municipal departments to do habitat restoration. And in particular, we focus on threatened and endangered species. We have been working with a lot of our agricultural producers in the region, alongside of USDA's NRCS program and the U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service, to more or less help these private landowners and producers basically get some conservation practices onto the landscape that they might not have been doing before, or they needed help with implementing on the landscape. What it is an initiative to bring awareness of the Delaware region and the importance of water quality in that drainage. It's more along the lines of what they did for the Chesapeake a bunch of years back. And with that, there was a funding opportunity from the William Penn Foundation that brought together a lot of nonprofit groups into the region to concentrate in certain focal regions in the Delaware, to work with landowners and farmers and municipalities to bring more attention to water quality and the practices that can help improve that. And how we saw our role in this initiative and what we've been working on for so long, even outside the initiative, was to engage the communities, engage the public, especially the agricultural component of the community, and various landowners that were in this area, and help them implement a lot of the conservation practices that were available to them through various grants. So what we have found, even though there was a lot of outreach to these individuals to do this kind of work, some of the practices require a lot of time in the field, and how it would be done in the past is the landowner or the farmer would have to do that labor themselves. In some cases, they would maybe partner up with a nonprofit like NJ Audubon or some of these other groups, and they would either utilize the staff from there, or they would utilize volunteers. But it was hit or miss, and the problem what we saw is that although you can provide these individuals with funding opportunities, not necessarily would you be able to get the practices on the ground fast enough, because it took a lot of time. And if you have a lot of these practices and projects being put into an area specifically for an initiative like the Delaware River Watershed Initiative, you start to have a capacity issue, because not only does NRCS and some of the other groups that would help out want to get these in the ground, we only have so much staff. We needed something that would fulfill the capacity issues that we were having in the region, to take the burden off of some of the landowners and farmers that, even though they have good intentions and want to do it and they'll get to it, instead of trying to do it piecemeal or get it into a zone where they stretch it out over time, and then maybe you're not capturing those benefits that you really want. If you were able to get it there immediately, we needed something else. We needed to look at another way of how to bring in a labor force that was trained already, that would know what they're doing, and was really into the projects that we could implement immediately. I was explaining to this person my dilemma of not having trained individuals that we could utilize on an as-needed, basis that really were into the job of doing what we needed and doing it well. And she brought me basically up to speed with this incredible program that I had not heard of, and it was New Jersey Youth Corps. One thing that really kind of put it over the top was Mike's explanation of the fact that they were providing folks that were really energetic and into the job and really want to get out there, had that passion for it, but they also were trained. This was the silver bullet we've been looking for the whole time. Having a workforce that actually was trained ahead of time, but trained in the ecology, in the restoration, knowing why they were doing it, instead of just we're sticking plants in here and walking away, knowing that they were making a difference, understanding the why that practice was going to do so well for the resource was key, because then they had buy-in. They were doing it right. They were doing it correct. And then I don't have to waste time and energy and money and everything having to go back and redo things. Because honestly, we were doing that with volunteers. Because after a while, they got tired of doing it this way. They decided to go do it another way. Or they didn't want to go into that area because there might have been some cow plop that they didn't want to get into. They didn't want, they thought maybe, well, even though I was told I have my own way of doing things. I'm not looking for that, because then I would have to come back and redo what the volunteers just did. The program, the kids came out with Mike. We had a site on a golf course, and I forget, it was maybe about 2,600 linear feet of open bank, stream bank eroding away, no cover whatsoever. It was just screaming for various restorations. We did a live stake planting. Kids came in, gave them a quick overview of what we were looking for. They knew exactly what the live stakes were. They knew exactly how they were supposed to be installed. They dug right in, and we were off and running in a matter of minutes, where that same practice would have taken me an hour or so to explain the reasons why, how to do it, where to do it. This was just boom, boom. One of the reasons why I love this program so much, right, with Youth Corps, is I see it as a way more effective outreach tool, all right? Standard outreach, letters going out to various people, or the social media. This one is way better, because you're getting the message out there, right? That you need, natural resources protections and how to do it. But the amount of people that it's reaching, it's the younger generation, right? They're getting trained in this. They train, they put it on the ground, and then they move on to the next one, and they look for an opportunity to be employed in it. But then there's a whole nother set of kids coming in, and they get the same thing, and they move on. And a lot of the guys that I was talking to when we were out in the field, local kids, right? Local kids that now are in the community, either working in it, I've been trained in it, promoting it, talking about it. It's way more effective. And then the opportunity later on to possibly hire them, I don't have to look as far. I know where to go, because I've seen the work quality, I've seen the enthusiasm, I've seen their commitment, I know the passion, and I would like to get more of a local kid here who knows the region, knows the people. That makes way more sense. So I just like it on that level, because again, I think it's a way better educational situation, but also it's just for outreach, for an initiative. Oh, you can't beat this. By far, we did a couple projects, but by far, my favorite project was the phytoremediation plantings of green bulrush in the cow pasture area that was a bog turtle habitat. New Jersey Youth Corps came out. We had, I think it was 6,000 plugs, 2-inch plugs of green bulrush to do a stream bank stabilization, but would also provide habitat for bog turtle. And I guess the reason I say it was my favorite thing, because we were out there on the farm, the cows were in the pasture, the kids were in the pasture, we were there, we were planting everything, but the wildlife itself that would show up, just to see it in their eyes that, you know, maybe they had never seen so many things. Just simple things like an American toad or green frog popping up, it was a big deal, and they were, you know, happy to put in that habitat and allowing that thing. But my favorite actually was a snake. It was a garter snake that happened to be coming through the area, and one of the Corps members, girl Stacy, my first reaction when I saw it, because I'm used to people when they see a snake kind of get a little upset, and her first thing was she reached down, grabbed the snake, brought it up and said, "Snake, I love you." Kissed it on the lips and then let it go. And I was blown away with that, because her interaction with the wildlife was just priceless. But she went right back to doing the work she was there to do, and I could tell that she was truly connected to the land, happy in what she was doing, saw the benefits, and if anything, she created great habitat for this, her buddy the snake, which I thought was just kind of cool. The reaction was, where do I sign up? How did you get a hold of these guys, and where have they been all our lives? Yeah, the other partners absolutely were just blown away. One, with the work quality, because we went out to a site with our funders and all the other cluster partners, part of the Delaware Watershed Initiative, to see some of the plantings. And we explained exactly how it went down and who we used, and they looked at the quality and said, again, this is too good. We want them as well. Recently, as recently as last week, one of our cluster partners, the Nature Conservancy, reached out to me to say, how do I get a hold of them? Tell me how you're doing this. You know, what else can we do? Because they are also in the same boat where we were capacity issues, and again, volunteers are good, but they're not always reliable. So all in all, in my experience at New Jersey Audubon, working with New Jersey Youth Corps, the fact that they have this training, this credential, waders in the water, the curriculum that goes along with that, and everything that they're doing to train these kids, that was the part that solidified my buy-in to saying why this was such a great program that I could easily implement into our work on the landscape. And for natural resource protection, for the time that's involved in putting those things in place, it made so much sense. And if they didn't have that kind of that training or the curriculum that goes along with it, I would have been right back to just having volunteers, having to slow down again to, you know, with confidence, with only so much confidence that maybe this is going to get done right. Now, I'm at a point where I can hire New Jersey Youth Corps, knowing they have that training with waders in the water, give them the project, give them the materials, and know that it's going to get done right, and I don't have to come back to the site.